Hi, so today I would like to talk about S2L rotations and insertions. I'll try to show you how to insert pairs without excessive rotations and therefore hopefully improve your S2L look ahead. I will also show some specific funny cases that you might run into a lot and then do maybe like 3 normal S2L example solves and 3 pseudo S2L example solves. Because I use full pseudo S2L, but I'm trying to focus more on beginner stuff right now for Megaminxing Mondays, and I might get into some more advanced stuff later. But even if you average like, I don't know, 50, you might still get something from these videos. So yeah, let's go to the first thing. So when you start your S2L, what I did for a while before switching to full pseudo was I inserted this cross edge, then I did this pair, and then I inserted this cross edge. So that would look something like this, and then I would continue with these two pairs. Before recording most of these videos, I talk about them with my dad, and he told me that he solves these two cross edges before doing any pairs. So on some of the cases, I will try to show you how to maybe do them if they affect this cross edge somehow. But I talked about this in the previous video on F2L inserts, and for this point in yourself, it applies also. What I recommend doing is, if you rotate this way for S2L, I would recommend starting with this block. If you rotate this way for S2L, I would recommend starting with this block, meaning this cross edge and this pair, or this cross edge and this pair, because you don't want to run into a situation where you're here because you wanted to solve this pair, and then you have to rotate back either here or here to solve this one. So I would recommend starting with this pair and then doing these two, however. So the same inserts as I talked about in F2L work also here. So if you make a pair, you can insert it like this into the back without like rotating here and inserting, which is, well, way worse because you're kind of hiding every single one of the pieces you could be looking for under your left hand, and there isn't really anything to look ahead to. But if you hold it like this, you see like the entirety of the cube. So you can insert either like this or like this. Another thing that I sometimes use is for this pair, if it's here, I would insert it like that. And if you have a solved cross edge, just do this. Another thing I would like to talk about, this pair. So it's like a 3 mover into here, but you like obviously want to solve it here. And instead of doing something like that, you can pair it up and then like kind of cancel into the insertion I just showed you. So you two and like this, and then move this one back, I guess. So once again, that's not how it works. What am I doing? Okay. Once again, if you have this pair, like this 3 mover, you can solve it like this. And quickly it looks like this. Okay, then what I would normally go for is just solving this pair. And then what's gonna probably make the most difference is if when you make a pair, you rotate here and then insert, you get yourself in a situation where you don't see anything. I might have talked about this in the past, but doesn't matter. You should learn how to insert the pairs that go in here with keeping the gray side on the top. So what you can do is just bring this slot up here, and then if it's oriented like this, you can insert with an F because you don't have any pieces to preserve, and put them back here. Or if the pair is oriented like this, you can just bring the slot here and insert like this. By the way, if you notice my left hand shaking, it's because I slept on it funny 2 days ago and my wrist hurts. So yeah. But there's also this case with the pair being like this, and you can do almost the same thing as I showed a moment ago for this pair. You can pair it up like this, and then just straight up go into inserting it here and putting the slot back. Then we can repeat the same thing for this pair. So here, for this one, you can do an R, make this pair, and then insert. And then for this pair, you can obviously move this corner away, move this slot up, and then treat it like a 3x3 case. And then after inserting this pair, move the slot back. Same thing for green. You can pair this pair up like this, and then into here, insert like that. Or I don't know, like this maybe. But I think this is perfectly fine. Then for this pair, you can do F prime, U, and then just pair them up like this, and then cancel into inserting. Then for the last 3 sides, I don't really know how people do them normally. If you'd like me to do a video on the last 3 sides, I can do that. Did I just? My muscle memory is gone. I straight up forgot. Okay, doesn't matter. Just for info, I remembered right after I stopped the video. By the way, if you want to By the way, if you want to experiment with S2L only and you don't want to scramble your whole Megaminx solve F2L and then get to S2L, you can hold it like this. Yeah. You can hold it like this and then scramble with just R minus minus and D minus minus, and just throw in some U moves here and there. That's a cube drop, okay. And you see your F2L should get preserved. If that doesn't work, you're just kind of holding it from a slightly different angle and just experiment with it, and you're gonna find the right angle eventually. Okay, so another case I wanted to talk about is when you solve these, and then both of your pieces for this pair are here. You can just kind of rotate and then solve the pair here and rotate back. Like, this little rotation isn't that bad. And if you get into like a situation where you'd have to rotate to like insert this well, I guess, then there's either this insert. I'm not really gonna explain how it works, just kind of experiment with it. Just bring this one over here, connect them and put it back. Or there is this insert where you put this star piece here and then like this. Is there anything else? Well, maybe if you have like this kind of pair. In this situation, you can just like do these B moves kinda with a half rotation of sorts. So then just this pair, however you want to. And pair this up, and then we can insert it in here like this. Then we continue with the purple, and I can like make this into this 3-mover and then insert like this, the way I showed you before. Then we can do this into this insert, which I showed also a moment ago. Then it's green, so I can... What I would recommend, that like could help if you learn the inserts. Right after you insert this cross edge into here, rotate, because you should be able to solve any pair like this and then insert into the back. There is like a weird case, or like bad cases, when there is a corner stuck in here and you'd have to do like double sexy. You can either do it like this with the B moves, or I cannot really think of an alternative, maybe like that into this. But yeah, that's the only like bad moment you can run into. And then you just put the slot up, insert whatever is left. And if you have a pair here, I don't recommend rotating. You can just use F moves to insert it. Or you can bring it up and then insert it. But don't do stupid rotations. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And these were kind of example solves, but now I will just do straight up example solves. But first, let's recap what I said and get into them. So I decided to combine the recap with the example solve. So when we finish S2L, what I talked about in the past was, in S2L, try to keep your gray side on the top, because that's gonna lead to not as much confusion as you would get normally. So then we can solve these two pieces, and then I see this corner and I see this edge. So I will pair them up and then use whatever trick I know to insert back here. Then I will rotate, solve this pair like this, and pair up this and insert into this spot and move it back down. Then I have this edge, which I will... That's pseudo S2L, I'm sorry. Then I have this purple edge, which I can insert into here. Then I can make this pair like this and insert. Then I can make this pair either like this with B moves, or like that. Nope, wrong pre-AUF. Or like that, and then insert this way I showed. So then it's green, and I can make this pair with an F prime, and insert like that again. And then I can do this. I already see that if I put this edge up here, I would have the same color on top and I would have to pair up and whatever. But instead of that, you can keep the edge here. And since they have like a different color on the same surface, kinda, I don't know how else to explain it, but like you see that this is like the same surface now and it's the same color. And now it's different. And now if I try to insert it like this, I can do like a long 3-mover because this will pair up and I can immediately put it here. So yeah, this was kind of hard for me to implement into my solves, this long 3-mover, but just play around with it and you'll get used to it. And then I'd insert this blue one, rotate, do this pair. Luckily this one is already oriented, so I can just solve it. And then I can either do triple inverse sexy, or I can do this soon like thingy. Then dot case, OLL, and Jesus Christ PLL. My turning isn't really functioning. Okay, let's go to the second example solve. So I would make this star like this, and then I would try to look for this pair. Since I don't see it right away and I see this one, I can solve it and then look, and I see that both of the pieces are here. So I can either rotate and solve it like I would on 3x3, or I can like use B moves or something. Depends. Then I have this pair, so I would bring it to the top. And then I can either pair it up here and then do one of the inserts I showed, or before you bring it in front of you, you can already put the slot up so that it works like on 3x3, and then you just do an extra R prime. Then I will solve this star edge and immediately rotate. Then I can make this pair with just an F2 prime and then insert the way I showed you. Then I can make this pair like this and then just insert. Then I would insert this one, and you can either immediately rotate, just as I said, but since I see that I have this edge here, I could also pair it up and then rotate, or I could deal with the other pair first, and that would be, I guess, with L moves. I don't, one less U move though. And then insert, which also gets this edge out. And then since I see both of my pieces in the top, I can already move this slot over here, insert, and move it back down. And then when I get into this situation where I solve this pair, but I would have to rotate again to solve it in here, I can just use this insert I showed before. So once again, this pair goes into here. You can either do B moves, which aren't that bad, or you can do this. And as a difference to what I showed before, where I didn't have like these pieces solved, you have to do an extra F to solve it. Then just this, OLL and PLL. Let's go to the final normal S2L example solve, and then I will do 3 example solves for pseudo S2L, just in case somebody using pseudo S2L is watching and they want to get better. I don't know. So what I would do here is I see this cross edge, so I'll immediately insert it. Then I see that my F2L edge, I mean S2L pair edge, is already here. So I'll find the corner and then insert it. Okay, I said I would explain how pseudo S2L works. So The main idea is using these like bottom edges as cross pieces, so we don't have to rotate anywhere, basically. It doesn't really matter for this pair. Like, you can also just do it like this and then insert and like use this green yellow star. For this pair specifically, for the first one, it doesn't make much difference if you use normal S2L or pseudo S2L. I sometimes just insert this edge first and then do the pair normally if I just don't see anything right away. Then I would insert this one into here and make this pair and insert like this. Then I can, I guess, move these two pieces here and insert this pair like normal. Then I have this cross edge, so I'll move this corner out of the way so it doesn't get stuck here. And then I would do the, well, no, it's not the long 3 mover. Then I would just insert and do an hour, and then just triple sexy in the back. Then I would, I guess, make this pair first, and then insert this cross edge and insert the pair. Then rotate, and I can either use B moves for this pair, or I can do F, R prime, F prime, U prime, R. Like that, I guess. Then I can do, this kind of sucks. I don't know, it's not efficient, I guess, but I'll just do this and insert. Then again, triple sexy in the back and insert this piece like this. Then 3x3 OLL and the same alloc I forgot at the start of the video. Okay, let's go to the second example solve. So here, I see that like getting this piece over here would be kind of challenging. So I'll just solve this one first, and then I can, I guess, do this, and then insert this pair like here, right here, like this. Then I already see this one, so I'll just solve it, rotate, and I can move this edge up here, and then solve these two, and then insert like this. And for this pair, I can do this into B moves, or again into this. Then I already see this cross edge, and maybe I would do an F to put this edge over here so it doesn't like stay here. But then I see this pair and I can pair it up, the corner is here. I can pair it up like this and insert into the back. Then I see that these two have the same color on the same surface. So I'll do an F2 prime to make it into a free pair. Then I have this cross edge, so I'll solve it. Then I can immediately rotate and do this pair like this. And then this one is already beautifully set up for me. Then I would either have to somehow move this corner away and then insert, or I could create this pair and then cancel into solving it with inserting this edge here. Then I can solve this pair like this, and either rotate and do double back sexy, or I can just do sledge into insert. Then it's this OLL, yeah, into, what is that, deeper, I think. Okay, let's go to the last example solve. Okay, so immediately I see this cross edge, so I would insert it, then look for the pair. It's over here, so I would solve it like this, I guess. And then I can insert and do a p prime, because I know that it will move this over here. Then I can solve this edge already from over here and solve this pair like that, I guess. And then, ooh, this is kind of nice. F prime and insert like this. Then I can solve this cross edge and this pair. I think I had the same case last solve, but then insert like this and then triple sexy in the back. I think, didn't I have these exact two same pairs in the that's crazy. Okay, then I would insert this cross edge and I guess do this rotationless because I already see what pair it is and it's kind of bad to do from here. Then I can solve this pair like this, and then I would solve this cross edge, pair up this, and I already see that this will be a free pair. So I'll rotate and solve like this, and then I can do F moves. Dot case into OLL into P perm, I think. Okay, so as a recap, you can scramble S2Ls like this. Then if you're using normal S2L and you rotate like that, I would recommend starting with this one. You can either solve both cross edges and then look for the pairs, or if you're like kind of confident in your look aheading or looking ahead or whatever, you can solve this piece only, I guess, and then somehow do these pairs. Oh yeah, by the way, another thing, if you want to insert this pair into here, you can like kind of cancel like this. That's also nice. Then this pair can be done like however. And then when you have this pair, don't rotate and solve it. Just move the slot up and insert it in here. Anyway. And then just kind of, you know, repeat. So here again, solve green, move the slot up, solve the pair into the slot, and yeah. How would I do this? I guess like that. And then for the last three sides, they're basically like 3x3 F2L. I said 3x3 F2L and I got a 3x3 OLL and a T-perm. That's crazy. That was a completely 3x3 solve. Okay, and yeah, that's it. I think the last two sides or whatever, like these last three pairs and last layer, is a topic on its own. So if you want me to do a video about that, just tell me in the comments, or if my dad wants me to, I'll just do it, I guess. And yeah, I'll also talk about like the star, like the first star in F2L in the future, and I'll just do like kind of recaps of whatever I said in the past, so people can either find it or remind themselves or whatever. And I'll try to do a lot of complete example solves, and yeah, I might upload more videos over the week, but mainly either one of the topics I talked about or just example solves, because those are also useful. So yeah, see ya.